So, welcome to week 2 of A to Z of nutrition with Lou and Leah. So this is week 2 of 26 letters in the alphabet. We didn't think this through, did we, Lou?
Not really.
26 weeks, like
drawing our old age pension, still doing it.
So this is a weekly bite-sized broadcast on all things nutrition from A through to Z. So this week is B, and we have some of the B vitamins. Now, because there's a number of them, we've just selected 4 of them. The ones that often get talked about the most, or people may present at doctor's surgeries with deficiencies in things like B12. So we picked 4 as opposed to like all of them, but we'll probably, you know, we in the nutrition group and classes will cover everything else, but these are just short bite-sized broadcasts. So starting with B6. So I'm going to do B6 and B7, and Lou's going to do B9 and B12. So B6, it's like this helps the body to store energy from the proteins and carbohydrates in food. So that's like really, really important. And it also helps the body form hemoglobin. And that's the substance in red blood cells that carries oxygen around your body. So you can see how really important that is, because like carrying oxygen around your body is really, you know, we need to keep that oxygen going around and flowing. So B6 helps with that. So, but also, which I find most interesting actually, is it can help with hormone balance. You know, being a woman of a certain age, 47, it's like hormones shift out. And so bringing hormones into balance is like, you know, this really catches my attention. Like, how can I help myself and others with this? So in the midlife transition, or like I've got hormone positive breast cancer. I'm going through like a breast cancer journey, that better side of it, but still ongoing like treatment. And it's like, so I'm really interested in hormones, really. I've had to be. And so learning that B6 can help with hormone balance really sort of caught my eye. And it's also necessary for creating serotonin. Now, serotonin is a feel-good hormone in our brain. And sometimes it gets called a neurotransmitter. You know, scientists will argue whether it's a hormone or neurotransmitter, but it doesn't really matter. You know, and serotonin, some people may be on a tablet called an SSRI for anxiety or depression, or sometimes for other things that have nothing to do with mood. And you know, an SSRI is known as a serotonin selective reuptake inhibitor, and those are like tablets like you may have heard of sertraline, Prozac, or sometimes called fluoxetine, citalopram, things like that. So sometimes, you know, occasionally, and I've known someone have this, is where a doctor supplemented her SSRI, her citalopram, with B6 to help low mood during the midlife transition and the hormone changes. So it makes sense, doesn't it, that B6 helps with balancing hormones. Of course, it can't do the whole job. We need to like make sure we're working with our doctors to have like a holistic approach to things, but it can help. So that's B6. B7 is also known as biotin, and if you watched video 1, which was letter A, you'll have seen me, you know, nothing to see here, just me and my avocado talking about biotin to Louise. And the A was for avocado, but I brought in the biotin because it's one of the biotin-rich foods. And so watch that video if you want to learn about the avocado and biotin. But, you know, a deficiency of biotin can lead to hair thinning and brittle nails. None of us want that, do we? And some say it can improve hair growth. Now, there's no scientific evidence on it improving hair growth, but there's nothing to lose. Yeah, and you know, when I was like worried about my hair thinning and when my eyebrows half came out with the breast cancer and everything, I made sure I took biotin supplements and used my avocados and made biotin rich smoothies, lots of berries because they're quite rich in biotin. But biotin's found in like lots and lots of foods, so I can't really give you a like linear list on that. As long as you're getting like a wide variety. So it helps the body also to make fatty acids. It supports the health of the skin, the hair, the nerves, the digestive tract, helps metabolism, and also helps your cells, helps the health of your cells. So it's like really, it's a really useful. Well, all the vitamins are useful, but biotin, you need it, and you need to get a sort of wide variety of foods. But berries and avocados are two you can rely on for some biotin, and they're great in making smoothies. And that's what I was doing, like when I came out of the hospital after removing some of the cancer, and I was making lots of smoothies full of avocado and berries to make sure that I could preserve my hair and my eyebrows, my eyelashes as much as I could. And even if it didn't work with that, I know there were still really nice smoothies with lots of good nutrients in them. So they're two of my favorite vitamins, B6 and B7, or biotin. But Louise has got for us B9 and B12. So do you want to enlighten them all on those two vitamins?
I do. I do. So, following on from what Leah was saying, B vitamins have lots and lots of different roles when it comes to our health and well-being. So, to name a few examples, they're really good for our cells, they're good for our brain, our hormones, and the functioning of our nerves. Now, today I'm going to be looking at two B vitamins in particular, and that's B9 and B12. So, folic acid, folate, and B12. So let's start with B9, which is folate. Now, folate is a very important nutrient for basically anything that's got a backbone. Anything at all.
Yeah. So tell me what's not got a backbone, though.
Some of my exes. Spiders, snails, things like that. We digress. It's very important when it comes to the formation of DNA, and it's absolutely vital for growth and wound healing. So if a person is wanting to become pregnant or is pregnant, it's recommended that they take a folic acid supplement, at least till they're 3 months pregnant. And this is because the body is going to need to be making new maternal tissue as well as the baby's tissue. And it also helps reduce the risk of the baby being born with birth defects. The main one being spina bifida, which is when the spinal cord doesn't connect properly. So what foods can we eat that contain folate? So dark green, leafy veg.
Matching.
Are a fantastic source. So things such as kale, spinach, broccoli, cabbage and peas, and fortified breakfast cereals should also have it added into them. So moving on to vitamin B12. Now, vitamin B12 is really important for making healthy red blood cells, and it also keeps our nervous system healthy. And it's really closely linked to vitamin B9, the one we just spoke about, in the respect that it also helps DNA formation. Now, the older you get, the more vitamin B12 you're going to need. And also, if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, you're going to need more as well, just the same as it was again with folate. So where can we get it? Well, it's in most animal-based products and is added to some fortified foods, but the best sources of it are in beef and liver. But like we said last week, if you're pregnant, liver should be avoided because it's very, very high in vitamin A, and that can be dangerous to the baby. But some other good sources are in fish, poultry, egg and milk. But if you're a vegetarian, obviously, or a vegan, you can get vitamin B12 from your multivitamin tablets. Now, if a person gets a vitamin B12 deficiency, it can cause tiredness, weakness, fatigue, and even, and I find this really, really interesting, depressive-like symptoms. Now, to keep that balance, that doesn't mean that people who are feeling depressed shouldn't seek help and that they should just go out and get multivitamin tablets. But it means if you're feeling a little bit tired, a bit low in mood, that it could be a vitamin B12 deficiency. Now, it's really important to remember that vitamin B12 can only be obtained through animal products or multivitamins. So you cannot get it from plant-based foods because plants don't make vitamin B12. So stressing that point again, if you are a vegetarian or you are a vegan, you are really going to be needing to take those multivitamins. And the final thing that I find really, really interesting about vitamin B12 is if you're over 50, you are more likely to develop a vitamin B12 deficiency, as the vitamin needs stomach acid to dissolve it. And as you get older, your body produces less stomach acid. So, yeah, I found that very, very interesting.
It's really interesting, isn't it?
It is. I'm just going to be thinking of stomach acid when someone tells me their age.
Their age, yeah. Well, I've got 3 years to go yet, so till 50. So you're a little bit younger than me, so like, it's.
20
Yeah, that is really, really interesting, isn't it? I didn't know that before, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did I actually list the foods for B6? I don't think I did. It's when I heard you say fortified cereals. I don't think I did. You think?
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sure I didn't. So let's just throw that in. You know, I got carried away on the hormone stuff and the midlife transition, didn't I? So yeah, B6, back to B6, the foods that that is mostly found in is pork, poultry, so that's your chicken and turkey, and some fish, peanuts, soybeans and soybean products, wheat germ, oats, bananas, milk, and some fortified breakfast cereals, and they'll tell you on the box if they are fortified with B6. I'll just find that in there because I'm sure I forgot to say that. So yeah, so therefore main B vitamins. Anything to add, Lou?
No, everything's been done.
Yeah, so get your B vitamins and we will see you next week for C. See if you can guess the topic, people, for what we might have with C. We're kind of following a pattern here, so like it's not that hard.
You never know. We'll get some good suggestions.
Yeah, well, yeah, we could get all sorts like sent in, couldn't we? For C. But yeah, so we'll see you all next Tuesday for another bite-sized A to Z of nutrition with Lou and Leah. Until then, take care, and we will see you soon. Bye.
See ya.
For now.